Hello everyone and welcome to this clip. In this clip we're going to create a line chart. Line charts are generally used to display trends over time, for example when establishing seasonality, etc. The objective of this clip is to display a line chart to visualize sales trends by category over time, and we're using a pivot table of sales by month by year across categories. To create the line chart, we simply click on the pivot table as normal. Pivot table analyze, pivot chart, and then we pick line and say OK. Once again, the default style is pretty bland, so we're going to change that to match the styles that we're using. So we'll pop down and style 2 is good, and then we'll change the layout as well. So design, quick layout, and we'll pick layout 5. So that matches the layout and style that we've used for the column charts. Once again, we notice that the title isn't dynamic, it's just a piece of text, which is not what we're doing in this. What we want to do is to give it some sort of dynamic feel. So we're going to just click on the title as we did with the other charts, say equals, and then we go to where the formula is for the title. In this case, it's a very simple formula, and press enter. Now we'll just move the chart to the chart 1 worksheet. So we go to move chart, select chart 1, say OK, and there it is now in chart 1. There are a few stylistic changes I want to make with the chart here. I don't like the way the data series is showing up, so we'll make some changes there. We'll just widen out that to have a look at it. So I don't want these markers, and I want the line to be possibly a different color or a bit narrower, and I want to put in a trend line. So a few things I want to do with this chart just to tidy it up a bit. In order to change anything in a chart, just click on it. So if I click on that there, I see the format data series comes up. If that box isn't there, if I right click on it, I can do format data series as well. So if we'll start with the fill and line, we'll see at the top here there are options for the line itself, this is the line, and options for the markers. They're the two things you need to consider. With the line, I leave the color, but I'm just going to change the width down to say 1.25, make it a little bit narrower. And I don't want to show markers in this instance, so I'll select marker options, and I'll say none. And that looks a little bit more normal. It's not easy to see a sales trend in this data. It's a bit all over the place. So what we can do is add a trend line. So I just click on the chart here, and we'll go to add, and down here you'll see trend line. Now the trend line is the same color as the ordinary data line, the data series, so I'm going to select that, right click on it, and go to format trend line. I'll go to the fill and line option, and we'll change the color to say a dark green, and I'll give it a smaller width, and I'll do an end arrow type just to show the direction. And so over time you can see that the sales are pretty flat if you were to average everything out. Now I'm going to do a little bit more tidy up on the chart here. We don't want to see the field buttons, so I'll hide all the field buttons, and we'll get rid of the axis title. I'm going to move this chart out of the way here for a minute. I'll move it down the sheet, I think. So I just grab it and move it down. And I'll move this sheet down, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a timeline and a slicer to this chart so we can make our selections based on the timeline and the slicer. I select the chart, pivot table analyze, and insert the slicer. And what we want is, this is by category, so I'll pick the category code, say OK, and that's the slicer associated with the chart. I'll change it to column by 2 row. I'll resize it to suit and position it over the chart. The other thing we want is a timeline. Order date is fine. Say OK. And we can position that across the chart as well. Now if I pick 2022, I see the trend line for 2022 and the sales for 2022. If I use cleaning, you can see that the title has changed to cleaning, and you can see now for 2022 for cleaning there are our numbers. I can pick the 2 years and you'll see the run rate for the 2 years. Okay, so very easy, very powerful stuff, and very intuitive. You can see immediately what's being picked and chosen and what you're looking at here. So that's it for the line chart. Have a bit of fun with that, and I'll see you in the next session. All the best. Bye for now.